Hi, Jonny. Thanks for your time today.
Not bad.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, not bad. Obviously, Cardiff homecoming just around the corner. How excited are you to play on home soil once again?
Yeah, I've waited 3 years to do this, so I'm really excited to be honest. Cannot wait. The Welsh crowd are second to none. So to be a part of, you know, the screaming, the shouting, the singing, I cannot wait to be honest.
And you've said to us that the Premier League's your favourite tournament, and obviously Cardiff being your favourite arena. So, and nights like this, some of the most enjoyable in your career, like the reason you play the sport.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always say, it's a shame there's not another major in Wales because I think, as a dart player, a Welsh dart player, it would be great for us and it'd be good for the support for Wales. So you know, in Cardiff, Premier League nights, like I say, I've been away for a couple of weeks, for a couple of years now. But you can ask Gezi the same question. That there's no better place. That it is fantastic, and that atmosphere tomorrow night is going to be special.
And on the UK Open, which we've got shortly after Cardiff, how are you looking forward to that tournament? It's so unique, obviously.
Yeah, it is unique. And it's exciting. It's the FA Cup of darts, isn't it? Obviously, so it's exciting. But I gotta think about this Premier League night first. I want to play against Gezi in that final. So I know I'm putting pressure on Gezi there as well. But it'd be a great night if we could have the two Welsh boys in the final. So that comes first, and then obviously on the way down to minor, then it'll be switch mindsets. Thinking of the UK Open of darts, the FA Cup of darts. So yeah, I can't wait.
Well, best of luck for both.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Johnny, Phil from Online Darts. Is it hard to distinguish the two being so close together? Premier League straight to the UK Open. Is that, as a player, is that hard to get your mental preparation right for the two?
No, I don't know. We're used to it now. I think, it's not my first time in the Premier League. So, before it used to be Exeter, obviously, and then down to Minehead. But, no, it's just one of them things. We'll finish here at Cardiff tomorrow night, and then we'll head on down to Minehead. So, no, we're quite used to that.
Michael speaks about it quite a lot, the extra pressure of him in Rotterdam and Gary did in Scotland and so on. Do you feel extra pressure in Cardiff because you've almost got the weight of a nation on your back?
Yeah, obviously, it's two different pressures, really, isn't it? You want to play well in front of your home crowd, definitely, and you don't want to let yourself down by being beaten 6-0 like I was last week. So I want to play well. So and then obviously then you want to win it for the Welsh crowd. So there's two different feelings on that. We all prepare the same each week, week in, week out. I go 4 hours before my game to the practice room. I chill out. I sort my doubling out, my scoring out. Well, I try to in anyway. And then we're ready to go. We're prepared. We're ready to walk down that runway. So the preparation is massive in the professional game. So nothing like that changes, but you want to do well in front of the Welsh crowd.
And again, just where you are in the table, flying right now, how important is it that you stay there and make everyone else chase you and not invite pressure onto yourself by having to get points?
Yeah, it's always important, isn't it? I always say, get 2 points each week. It's hard for people to catch you at the end of 16 weeks, but getting them 2 points every week is pretty difficult. So, you know, that's my aim is just to try and get over the first game. And then anything after that is obviously a bonus. Win a night, it's a great bonus because you get 5 points, obviously. But the points, that's the important part. I know I've been here before, so I know what I have to do.
Cheers, Johnny.
Hello, Johnny. It's Connor here from Hockey 180 and Darts Now. You mentioned there that you are sitting top of the Premier League table, and obviously you've done well focusing on yourself. But is it hard to not focus on under two Lukes? They almost feel like two sleeping giants just waiting to pounce because I think a lot of people still expect them to get into the top four despite not being there at the moment.
Yeah, maybe so, the world number one and two. Obviously, you've got to think about them, but all truth, I think about my game. I don't really care about anybody else. I'm doing a job right so far. So, that's all I need to worry about is I need to just keep getting points on the board. we all know that them two guys can, well, the other seven guys, not only them two guys, the other seven guys can play darts. So it's, if I can concentrate on my own game, that's what they need to do on theirs.
Is there going to be any hangover, do you feel, from what happened last week? Obviously, Stephen played really well against you on 106 average, but for yourself, it was a 6-0 loss. It was a bit out of the blue, really, considering how you've performed so far in this Premier League.
Yeah, it hurt, to be honest. Like, nobody likes to be whitewashed. I have to be honest, that's the truth of the matter. But at the end of the day, when Steve played like that, I couldn't get near him. He played really well. Like you said, it was a 104. At the end of the day, that's great darts. And if you're not at the races, you ain't gonna get near him. And I wasn't at the races in that game.
And in Cardiff tomorrow, I'm expecting something a little bit different. I know some guys like to do a different walk, and when they go to a home country, Tom Jones is a little bit frowned upon nowadays, isn't he? So, what's the plan for tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it on Jonny. Be good, I think. I don't know yet. I might change it between now and tomorrow. So, no, I think there'll be the voices will be loud enough as it is if it's Johnny B. Good or if it's like the Tom Jones. But I don't think it'll be Sex Bomb. I can tell you that.
Cheers, Johnny. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, pal.
Yeah, Johnny, Dylan Darts Cymru.
Right, Dal.
I just wanted, put the bunting game to one side. Obviously you're exactly where you want to be after 4 weeks. What's impressed you with your game over that 3 and a bit weeks?
Well, consistency, you get chances on your doubles. Scoring's been good, chances on doubles I'm taking, and that's what you need. I always say, we can all throw darts, we all practice on scores, but it's the timing of chances. If somebody gives you a chance, for argument's sake, if somebody misses a double, you could be on 110, we'll say, and you take that out. That's going to hurt your opponent, And
Yeah.
I've taken a few chances out where people have missed. The missing is not my problem. I've taken the chances, and that's all that counts.
And you're obviously playing second place Jan van Veen tomorrow night. Does that add any extra spice? Do you want to make a statement to that person who's closest to you on the table, or is it just another game and hopefully get the W and the 2 points in the bank?
Both, to be honest, Udall, and it's like, obviously, if you're top of the table, you want to beat number two, yeah. But it's more of the win the 2 points. The 2 points are the ones that counts. Doesn't matter, if you're in the top four at at the end of week 16, you've done your job. It doesn't matter if you're 1, 2, 3, or 4. You're in the finals night. So the 2 points, the win, and the 2 points in the bag, that is the important part.
Yeah. And if the Cardiff crowd could see one thing from you tomorrow night, Johnny, if it was, a repeat of what we saw from Josh Rock, a 9-dart, plenty of ferret finger pointing, or that winning draw, hitting the winning double to win the night, which one of those would you like to give that Cardiff crowd?
Well, I'd take all three of them, Dylan, right? I just don't want to miscount, because miscounting is not good. So, no, I think, it'd be a dream if you could hit a 9-dart in front of your own home crowd, like Josh done last week. He's put the pressure on everybody else. So, to be fair to him, that was fantastic, and hopefully I can maybe do the same tomorrow night.
Yeah. Diolch, Johnny. Bob luck i ti, bye.
Diolch.